Had a Shalom on Sporting Icons.
Okay, so in yesterday's video where I was speaking about Frank Smith and him going in on boxing fans, I don't need to cover that one. Go check out that video. Well, within that video, I made mention to what I'm going to talk about in this video. So I'm going to dedicate it as one video because not many people watch that one because obviously Frank Smith isn't a headline grabber, if you like, which is a shame, right? But anyway, now within that video, I made mention to transparency on PEDs. And by the way, ignore any kind of images in this video. It's not going to correlate to anything that I'm talking about. It's literally just a filler because it's going to be too hard for me to put images on the things I'll talk about in this video. Anyway, transparency on PEDs. And I'd appreciate any reporters out there who hear this video when you're speaking to any promoters this week or over the coming days, put it to them what I'm going to say in this video. Okay, just do that for me and let me know what it is that they say. Or just send me a link to your video and I will respond in my own way. And if necessary, I will blast them, okay? Now, all promoters say how they want to have a cleaner sport, okay? Now, this isn't the solution, but it will certainly help towards it. And I'm surprised I haven't done it already. Because for me, there's too much underhandedness behind the curtain, brushing things under the carpet and everything. And I'm going to give you one example, and I don't want to use Conor Ben, but I kind of have to. Because I do feel that there's a big old witch hunt going on about him. And there has been for a long time, especially from TalkSport. Is what it is, rightly or wrongly. Now, he failed 2 tests. On the first one, and his own words were, oh, well, we looked at oh, well, it must be a mistake, and ignored it. Then a month later, he got tested again for the same thing, and they still tried to ignore it, but it weren't for the fact it came out in the public that then action was taken, right? Now, there's a way to cut out all that, which is very, very simple. Whether it's UCAD, whether it's FADA, whether it's Drug-Free Sport, whatever testing agency out there, when they test a fighter, you automatically upload it to a dedicated public website. So if a fighter is tested today, you upload it. Fighter A was tested today at this particular time, results pending. When you do the test, you then update that particular part with the paperwork. So we get to see exactly what they were tested for, including therapeutic use exemptions, whether they pass, whether they fail, straight away. So, of course, when they email the test results to the promoter, the fighters, the managers, and what have you, well, email somebody else as well who can dedicate to take these screenshots and everything like that and upload it to this particular website. So everything is public. And it will deter a lot of fighters, it will. And it's not hard for them to do, and it's not going to cost any more money, because all UCAD, VADA, whoever have to do is when they're copying in certain people on an email, just copy in one more person who has access to this website. So that way we get to see exactly who's being tested and by who. And we boxing fans will then have an overall view because we have a right to know. Because when people in boxing are asking us boxing fans to buy tickets, when they're asking us to pay for subscriptions on DAZN, Sky Sports, TNT Sports, whatever it may be, and of course pay-per-views and whatever else. And of course a lot of boxing fans out there, they like to place bets as well. You want to know what you're betting on. And you can quickly access his website to see, well, who exactly was tested and how many times were they tested and who tested them. And after a while you start to see a pattern that certain fighters are getting tested more than others. Some fighters may not even be tested at all. Over the course of the next 2 or 3 years, you may see that fighter's name once. Then flags can start to be raised, because there's no record of any of this stuff, is there? There isn't. And of course, yes, that would include therapeutic use exemptions, because there's a lot of fighters out there who get therapeutic use exemptions. Some of them may be legitimately so, because they're low on testosterone, or whatever it may be, okay? And they're getting legal advice from the medical doctor that they can legally do this, and they let the testing agency know, I'm taking this for this reason, and here's my doctor's note. Again, we get to see all of that, not to be nosy or to start ridiculing, but again, we'll start to see a pattern. Okay, so this fighter, and this fighter, they're all asking for therapeutic use exemptions, and it seems to be the same doctor or two here or there that's signing these off. Well, that doctor needs investigating. Yes? Because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of fighters out there who don't actually need therapeutic use exemptions, but they have to be pally with a certain doctor, pay him a little bit of money, off you go. So, in other words, there's fighters out there who are legally juicing. So if you really want to clean up the sport, then what's wrong with that? It's not something that's going to cost a lot of money, is it? People will do it for free. Copy me on the email. I'll do it for free. You ain't got to pay me. I'll prefer it if you paid me, but you ain't got to pay me. It'll take me, 2 minutes? Take a screenshot, put up on the website. I can reactivate my own website to it. So, ask promoters out there, any reporters out there, ask them, if you want to clean up the sport, what is wrong with this suggestion? Very, very quickly, every time a fighter is tested, it's uploaded to a particular website. So there's no more behind the curtain kind of stuff going on. Because I do look at, say, for example, in America, look at PBC, for example. And I'm not accusing, but we've all heard the stories that Al Heyman has asked VADA to not release any kind of information publicly, but only to him, or only to members of the PBC. I don't know if that's true. These are just rumours. And of course, when you look at some of their roster, they're so inactive, a lot of them. You do have to wonder, are some of them on what has been dubbed silent bans? Well, we'll know, won't we? If things are uploaded to the website, we will know that certain fighters have failed certain tests. Yes? And if any testing agency out there doesn't want to do that, okay, cool. Bin them off and let someone else do it. And if any of them want to start playing hooky on certain things and not releasing full information to everybody, again, bin them off. We'll see who's taking brown envelopes. There's a pattern. The pattern can be easily drawn out. Very, very easily. But it all starts with the promoters agreeing to it. Anyway, that's my thoughts on this whole situation. What's yours? I said it's not the solution, but it's a contribution to the solution. Because boxing fans are asking for a lot of information nowadays. And of course, Frank Smith said that boxing fans are not entitled to it as such, but I think boxing fans are entitled to a lot of information. They are. And if they really want a clean sport, then there's no reason in the world why it can't happen. It doesn't cost any money. It doesn't take up anybody's time. It just makes everything transparent. And I don't care what other sports are doing. I don't care what rugby's doing or football's doing or basketball's doing. I don't care. I'm talking about boxing. You want to clean up boxing, this will help. Because the last thing in the world a fighter wants to do is be seen on this website as failed, firstly. And second of all, that it's public knowledge that they're on therapeutic use exemptions. So if anybody out there is using that system to legally juice, they may think twice about it. Because patterns will start to emerge. They will. I'm surprised nobody's done it before, to be honest. But anyway, listen, I'm sure if they do it, they'll claim that it was their idea. I'll Sport Night because I get no credit. But hey, that's fine. As long as they do it. Clean up the sport of boxing, right? Drop your thoughts below. Click thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you next video.